Namaste, Pranam, Gita Dhyanam. Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Grathitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitam Ritavarshinim Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayinim Ambatva Manusantadhami Bhagavad Gite Bhavadveshinim. Oh, Bhagavad Gita, with which Lord Narayana himself gave enlightenment to Partha. The ancient sage Vyasa included it in the Mahabharata. O Goddess, showerer of the nectar-like knowledge of non-dualism contained in your 18 chapters, O my affectionate mother, the destroyer of rebirth, I meditate upon thee. Krishna Vandana. Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kansa Chanura Mardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Son of Vasudeva, the slayer of Kansa and Chanur, extreme delight for Mother Devaki, O Lord Krishna, the supreme teacher of the universe, my salutations to you. Srimad Bhagavad Gita, the Rajavidya Rajaguhya Yoga, 9th Adhyay, and Sri Krishna in our previous reading has told us how in the eyes of Sri Krishna, in the eyes of the Lord, in the eyes of the great principle, all beings are equal. There is no great, there is no small, there is no high, there is no low. Sri Krishna says, Sam aham sarva bhuteshu. In the 29th Shloka that we read last, he said, for me all are same, all beings, I look upon them with the same attitude. Sam aham sarva bhuteshu na me dveshosti na priyaha. It is not that I hate some, and it is not that I love some. No. I don't have hatred for anyone. I don't have love for anyone because they are all mine. They are all my own. Whom to love, whom to hate, whatsoever they are, I look upon them with equanimity. Sam aham sarva bhuteshu. I am equal to all. For me there is no dear, for me there is no hateful. But among those children of mine, a very few, they know that they are in me. I am in them, of course. They are also in me, all of them. But very few have this realization. And who are those very few? Ye bhajanti tumam bhaktya. But those who worship me with great devotion. Ye bhajanti tumam bhaktya. Those who worship me with great devotion. Maite teshu cha api aham. They are in me as well as I am in them. But those are the rarest of the rare of this creation. It is that benefit, that great fortune is not for one and all. Majority of the people, they are under the veil of that Maya and they are unable to realize, they are unable to recognize that they are also in God. They don't have that realization. Their realization is only me and mine. That egoistic tendency. That I am the doer. I am doing this. I am giving this. I have done this charity. I have donated this. All this I. So those beings who with great devotion, they worship the Lord. Lord says, they are in me and I am also in them. And like Sri Ramakrishna said about this particular thing, that God is in all beings. God is in all beings, but all beings are not in God. In reality, they are in God, but they don't have this understanding. Because of the veil of ignorance, they don't realize the fact that they are in God. They think I am the supreme most. Who is God? Maybe the God is there somewhere in the temple. I will go and offer him pranams. I will do puja, this, that. But I am the supreme. But I. So there are people who don't realize they are in God. And the moment this veil of ignorance falls on our understanding, Sri Ramakrishna says, and that is because that is the cause of their suffering. This ignorance, this maya, this not understanding the fact that we are in the God too, that is the cause of all suffering. So that was the Sri Krishna's teaching to us in the 29th Shloka. And now Sri Krishna is telling us, again propounding us the greatness of this bhakti as such. Like he said in the 29th Shloka, Ye bhajanti tumam bhaktya, those who worship me with this devotion. Now Sri Krishna is telling us more about this devotion, the bhakti. In this 30th Shloka that we are going to read today. Api chet su-durāchāro bhajate mam ananya-bhāk sādhureva mantavyaḥ samyag vyavasito hi saha. Api chet su-durāchāraha. Api is also. And chet, if su-durāchāraha, a very wicked person. Su is extremely, in a high quantity. Durāchāraha, an extremely undevout and extremely wicked person, wretched person. Now Sri Krishna is extolling the greatness of bhakti. Sri Krishna says, if a greatest of the wicked persons, the wretch of the wretches, the wretched person, bhajate mam ananya-bhāk, even if a great wretch, he starts worshipping me with great devotion and ananya-bhāk, that devotion to none else, just me alone, not feeling any difference between him and me, ananya-bhāk. When even a great sinner, when a great wretched person, the person who has done the evilest of the evil things, when he starts worshipping me with ananya-bhāk, with great devotion and considering me to be all and all, to the Supreme Lord, then what happens? Sādhureva mantavyaḥ. Sadhu eva saha mantavyaḥ. That person, that wretched person, that good for nothing person, he should be considered as a righteous person, as a sadhu, as a great ascetic, as a great tapasvi. Sadhu eva samantavyaḥ samyag vyavasito hi saha. Samyag vyavasitaha hi saha. Samyag is rightly. Vyavasitaha, resolved. He saha. Indeed, he is resolved to be a great righteous person. Whatever maybe he might have done in his past, whatever deeds he might have done in the past, worst of the kinds, the most hatred things, the most hateful things, the worst things. If such a man, even if such a man starts worshipping me with full oneness with me, starts worshipping me with undeviating devotion, with most sincere devotion, that, oh Lord, fine, whatever I have done in the past is all gone. Now I am yours. Now I have taken shelter at your holy feet. Now I have taken shelter in your lap. And with this understanding, even if a wretch, even if the most sinful person starts worshipping the Lord says, such person by every right such person should be considered as a righteous person. Because the moment the person is repentant over those past bad actions, past wretched actions, the moment out of that ill feeling, out of that repentance, when a person surrenders to the Lord and starts worshipping with full devotion, unstinted devotion, undeviated devotion, then the Lord accepts the child. Yes, Lord forgives the child. Lord is a great forgiver. So Lord doesn't, carry any kind of ill feelings in his mind. Oh no, this person, he has done so many bad things in his life. Because Lord says, first of all, Lord has told us that for me all are same. It is not, I hate anybody, I love anybody. No, they are all my children. The moment any of such children of the bad tendencies, they realize their mistake, they are repentful, and they start dedicating themselves to the Lord, they start worshipping Lord with unwavered devotion, then Lord also accepts them as his children. And then Lord says that even such a person, he has got every right to be given the status of a sadhu, given the status of a righteous person. Even if a man of the most sinful conduct worships me with undeviating devotion, unswerving devotion, he must be reckoned as righteous, for he has rightly resolved. He has rightly resolved to be a saint. He has realized his mistakes. He is repentant on the past wrongs that he has done. And therefore, he has earned himself a place to be called a great person. Now, the dirtiest water can be brought back to its original pure state through distillation. Yes, if even water from the drain can be brought back to the purest form by distillation. The water from drainage is so dirty, smells awful, and we can't even look at it. But if that same water, we take it in a flask, heat it, create a steam, send that steam into a condenser, and we distill that steam, the purest of the pure water comes back, isn't it? All that muck and dirt and garbage is left out in that beaker, in that flask. That dirt, that garbage, it has got nothing to do with this pure water which is distilled now. That association of water with the dirt after the process of distillation is gone. What we get as a condensate is purest of the pure water. It has no dirt, it has no garbage in it, it has no smell in it. It is totally free from all the old associations. Likewise, when a person is repentant and starts worshipping the Lord with unstinted devotion, with undeviated devotion, when starts worshipping the Lord, all that muck, all that garbage, all that dirt, all that bad things, they are dissociated. The person as if gets distilled through that process of devotion. The steam is created, that steam is condensed, and that process of devotion starts giving the purest of the pure water from that water in the drainage. So this is what Sri Krishna has told us in this 30th shloka. Even while the dirt in its innate element, even while in dirt, its innate element is not lost. Although in a drainage water, the water might be there mixed up with all that dirt and garbage, but the innate purity of that water is never lost. We can bring back that innate pure water through the process of distillation. Man's case is also exactly the same. It is in fact much more definite than that of water. There is a divinity in each and every man. There is a divinity in each and every being. Only because of the ignorance, only because of that veil of Maya, only because of that egotism and the I consciousness, we are forgetting that divinity. We are converting ourselves into that garbage water, and we need that process of distillation. We need that process of devotion. We need that process of unstinted devotion towards the Lord to worship the Lord with that unstinted devotion. And then all those bad associations with that garbage water, they are nullified. The pure distilled water comes from that condenser, and the man realizes its true nature. And that is the time when we start realizing we are in God, God is in us. There is no such thing as eternal damnation to the sinner as some religions would have it. The concept of sin is there in almost all the religions except Sanatana Dharma. The Vedanta doesn't say the human being is a sinner. In fact, as Swami Vivekananda used to say, that we are all divine creatures. Only thing is, we are evolving ourselves from lesser truth to the higher truth. We are no sinners. We have all the divinity within us. It has got hidden. We have forgotten that divinity within us, but that doesn't make us sinner. We may do bad things, but a day will come when the reality dawns upon us, when we will repent upon those bad deeds of ours, and we once again come back from that region, that knowledge of lesser truth to the higher truth. Our journey is from truth to truth, from lesser known truth to the higher truth. So, the unpardonable sin is a misnomer in the teachings of Vedanta. There is no sin which is unpardonable. The moment a person is repentant, the moment a person realizes he has done bad, it doesn't remain bad anymore. The person has evolved himself or herself from all those past ill doings. Salvation of mankind is the supreme plan of divine. Divine has already planned it. We all are on our way from that point of lesser truth to the higher truth. We are already there. The Lord is looking at that progress. We are not aware of it. We will be aware of it the moment we start realizing that He is in me, I am in Him. The more man turns to God, the purer he becomes. And as we start taking a step forward, like in one of those teachings, Sri Ramakrishna told us that we take a step forward towards God, God takes 10 steps towards us. It is all a matter of our taking the step forward. God is there coming. He is willing to take 100 steps forward towards us to lift us in His lap. But we are so adamant, we are so rigid, we are so ignorant. We hesitate to take that one step forward. His mind gets automatically set aright in God thought the moment man turns to God. His good action then follows in the trail of his purified thought, and he emerges as one reclaimed in virtue. All the bad tendencies are gone. And then he becomes purity personified. Having started worshipping the God with unstinted devotion, even that wretched person evolves into a saintly person. God has told us this. God has shared this secret with us. So never ever bother about all those wrong deeds in the past. Realize your folly. Let us realize our mistakes and take a step forward towards the Lord. Lord, all past is gone. Now I'm yours. So, with that attitude, even the sinners get. No, in fact, as per Vedanta, there is no sinner. There are only wrongdoers. They have done wrong, fine. But that wrong they will undo. And those wrongdoers will become righteous persons. Sri Ramakrishna used to tell a very interesting story on pertaining to how people can be lured into the attraction towards Lord because of their by nature, by inherent nature. People like to do something which is not right. That is that is the law of Maya. They try to do. They find a great kind of satisfaction in doing wrong. Now, Sri Ramakrishna used to tell a story of two brothers, two saints, that Nityananda and Gauranga. Sri Ramakrishna says, how to win people from worldliness to godliness, from wrongdoings to the righteousness. Thought the twin saints, Nityananda and Gauranga, they came up with a plan. People don't want to come to the holy life. People don't want to chant the name of Lord. So these two saints, they devised a plan. They stuck upon the plan of preaching that chanting of the Lord's name would bring into them more of wealth and earthly enjoyments. These two brothers, Nityananda and Gauranga, they wanted people to chant the name of Lord. Hari bol, Hari bol, Hari bol. Now, how to make people chant the name of the Lord? Then they told Lord, if you start, they told the people, if you start chanting the name of Lord, if you start Hari bol, you will enjoy all the niceties of the world. You will have all the delicacies to eat. You will have all the wonderful things to enjoy. You will embrace the damsels. That's what they used to tell the people. And believing these promises of Nityananda and Gauranga, people used to start chanting Hari bol, Hari bol, Hari bol, Hari bol. In the process, what used to happen? Attracted by the offer, people in large numbers joined the saints in singing and chanting the glory of God. The divine ecstasy that emanated from that holy act made people forget all vulgar pleasures and turn their minds towards Godward. Nityananda and Gauranga had told them, you will embrace beautiful ladies. Now what happened in reality? The moment these people, they started chanting the glories of the Lord, they chanting the name of the Lord, they became inebriated in the divine condition, that in that divine state. And they fell down on the ground. They embraced the earth, saying, Hari bol, Hari bol, Hari bol, Hari bol. And that was what Nityananda and Gauranga, they had told them, you will embrace some beautiful lady and that Mother Earth. They just embraced their mother, chanting the name of the Lord. And that is how these two brothers, they lured these people who were after material enjoyments. Through chanting the name of the Lord, they brought him on the right path. The intention was initially very bad. But through the name of through chanting of the name of the Lord, they became so much intoxicated in the divinity of the Lord that they fell on the ground, they hugged Mother Earth, and they just got into that mode of Lord, 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 Lord. They forgot all about all those worldly enjoyments, all those vulgar pleasures, all those materialistic enjoyments. For them, they just transformed themselves into that divine mode. The divine ecstasy that emanated from that holy act made people forget all vulgar pleasures and turn their minds towards God. God is the divine talisman for all worldly evils. That is the divine charm. You put that charm on anybody who is worldly minded, and all worldly evils cease to exist with the charm of God, and people get transformed from being wretched to the righteous people, to the saintly people, to the sadhus. Sādhur eva sa mantavyaḥ samyag vyavasito hisaha. Samyag vyavasito hisaha. He is bound to become a righteous man. Nobody can prevent that. That he must be reckoned as a sadhu, whatever wrong he might have done in the past. So that is Sri Krishna's teaching of the greatness of bhakti with which we should offer ourselves at the feet of the Lord. The unstinted bhakti, the undeviated bhakti. One pointed. Lord means Lord, that's it. I don't want any interference in between. Just me and the Lord, and that's it. So Sri Krishna has again told us here the greatness of how we can transform ourselves into that state of being called as a sadhu. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Sri Krishna Arpanamastu. Jai Sri Ram Krishna. Jai Thakur. Jai Ma. Jai Swamiji.